Okay, finally, says that I'm broadcasting. Hey, hi, room. Thank you for waiting. I'm so sorry about that. I don't know what technology was going on since Mercury is not in retrograde. So you know, things happen. I'm gonna start the webinar right away just so that I don't keep you since it's already late. And we are dealing. This is the dealing with the difficult Airbnb guests one more time. Um, And please let me know that you could see the presentation. And can you hear me? Confirm, can you hear me? And see presentation. Yes. All right. Okay, perfect. Carmen, but were you guys on the webinar on Friday? Please just say yes or no on your, yeah. Oh, Christy, well, thank you. Then thank you for coming back. And I will make sure, perfect. I'm so glad that you can all see me, Carmen, from Guadalajara. Video is a presentation. It's a screenshot. So please make sure that you can see me. Chris, no, what? You cannot see the presentation? I'm trying to find out what you guys can see or not see. Alejandra, I have sound. Okay, Anna, you have sound. Do you have visuals? Hello. Hi, Vivian. Good to go. Okay, so can I hear from you? The slide is up. Perfect. Thank you, Ree. All is good, and I see the presentation. Perfect. Okay, we cannot see Chris. No, cannot see you too. No, because I'm not talking. I'm talking, but all you're seeing is a presentation. All right, perfect. That's all I want you to see. You're gonna see the presentation right now. So we're going to start this webinar. It feels like a never-ending dilemma. So here we are, and we're going to talk. This is one of our things in reference of dealing with a difficult Airbnb guest. It's one of our. And then I used to, yeah, okay, and then no what? And then they say no. Okay, works perfect. I'm gonna listen to Typhoon, and I think I'm killing your name, but that's what I'm gonna listen with. All right, so dealing with a difficult Airbnb guest, and this is from inquiry to review. I'm going to tell you a little bit about me, just in case you don't know who I am. I started in 2010 when the economy shifted. I found Airbnb, and that's when my house, Eveland, was started. I hope you have a name for your house, but this is the name to my house. It's Eveland, and then in 2012, I started talking about Airbnb and talking about the sharing economy to the press and to the state legislators, which was the issue last Friday. I was at a event, the city council event. And now in 2014, I started the consultation site, Evelyn Padilla, to teach you and give you some insights about hosting for the last 5 years that I've been doing. So we're going to talk from, all right. So then I'm please just restore me, because you're saying you cannot see me, but you can hear me. Thompson, you're saying that yes, you can hear me now. You got it. I'm glad. So we're sorry for that. All right. So from inquiry, I guess it's already in your house, and from review. And then do you want to go to this other link just in case? Let me just give you an emergency link so you can just go to it and visit it, and maybe there you can see it. Emergency link. All right, hopefully you guys can see me there. All right, so inquiry already at home and review. So let's start. And so when your guest inquires, your first email from them, you might have an unverified guest with a statement saying, is your space available? And the reality is that this is still a good guest. This is not saying that it is a bad guest or anything like that. They're actually still a good guest, and do not turn them down just because they're unverified and because they're asking you one silly question. The reality is that they need to hear from you. They're probably newbies and they want to be able to get a little bit more information, and you as a host have to direct them. It is a daunting task to get verified on Airbnb. I've had guests that takes them over 24 hours to get verified. So if you have someone that's unverified, it does not mean that you should turn them down. If you have someone that might say like, oh, I'm trying to reach out to you, I have some questions and things like that, and silly them, they'll give you a phone number. You need to tell them, hey, look, the site blocks all personal information. Yes, the space is available. Can you tell me a little bit about you? And I do request a verified guest. So you might want to start that process before booking. Once you're verified, you verify for life. So you don't have to redo it again. So it's important, engage your guest and teach them. You know the way and they don't. They might be totally new to the Airbnb world. And we are always thinking that everybody knows Airbnb and they don't, okay? Now, if you have someone that sends you this kind of email where it's like, we're coming for a bachelor party, we're quiet, nice fellows, your place says 4 max, but there will be 6 of us. Don't worry, some of us could sleep on the floor. We're just gonna listen to some music and celebrate. Well, this is too many red flags. This is totally a red flag inquiry from, we're coming for a bachelor party. Where is the bachelor party? Your place says 4 max, but there will be 6 of us, so they're already breaking rules. They're saying, oh yeah, don't worry, we're gonna just listen to some music and celebrate. And it's like, are they throwing the party in your house? So what you do is you tell them, look, my place might not be, unless you have a party house and you're okay with this, my place is not conducive for your gathering or for your group. Please look someplace else or get a hotel. I do tell people sometimes too that sometimes a hotel might be best. I had a request not that long ago from some college students, and they were like, we're from Harvard, we're coming down to New York. And I'm like, well, my house is not a party house. Well, no, we're not coming here to party. And I'm like, I live in the house as well. And that totally deterred them from booking with me, because it was like, oh, the host lives in the building, not even if I'm not in their space. So turn something like that down. Now, what happens if someone reaches out and says, I want to book without Airbnb? That's totally different than someone telling you, I have some questions, can you call me? Because the questions, can you call me, is more like they don't know that you cannot contact them via Airbnb, that you cannot contact them outside of the platform without them booking. This is booking without Airbnb. First of all, you are not protected as a guest. As a host, you are not protected. You could have problems if they destroy anything in your house. They are going to be a trouble guest. And not only that, but the little bit of money that they're going to save, they're going to come out and tell you, well, look, I want more things and I want this and I want that, because now you don't have the protection of Airbnb. It's you and this individual. So please, if anybody asks you to book without Airbnb, stop and contact Airbnb. Flag that host, that message. If you don't want to flag it, just tell them, I do not go out of sight. Okay? Is the sound any better now? I could just sound any better. Well, I'll turn back on. Is this better? Okay. I'm sorry, drinking some water. All right, so now what happens if you have a guest already in your house and you're, all right, let me try one more time. What about now? Okay, perfect. Now, if you have a guest that's already home and they're starting to cause some troubles, sort of, they bring you an unwelcome guest, your house is no pets, or they bring you extra people, they bring you more people than you have in your listing maximum, they stay home all the time. They have a little staycation in your place, and you work from home, and you really don't want to be sharing your space that much. They use your kitchen all the time, or they're cooking at odd hours, or they just break your rules, like smoking in your house, and you have a free smoke, no smoking home. My recommendation, if they're in your house, is to communicate. Go from a place of compassion, and hopefully with a little bit of understanding, and not with upset, which I believe me, I'm not that good. I have been upset in the past when some guests break rules and things like that. And I have confronted people when I feel like if they smoked in my places, I'm like, oh, I hope you're not smoking in my house. It's a non-smoking home. That email, even before arrival, I sent it on one of my emails to the guest. I sent one email 10 days before arrival where it lists how many people are arriving, what are they renting, because I have two listings, the days that they're coming and going, so there's no confusion. Some house rules, what I provide, like for example, I provide some breakfast, I provide Wi-Fi, I provide towels, so they have that information one more time. And then I reiterate, this is a smoke-free home because it's that important. Even though it's in the house rules on the Airbnb side, it is in the guidebook on Airbnb on my home. I also reiterated on my email with them. So if you have a huge house rule, guests really don't read house rules that much. They sort of glance through them and through the description and the house rules. But if there's something that's really, really important to you, and I understand that all the house rules are important, but if there's something that's imperative, please recommunicate with your guests so that everybody's clear about it, okay? And what happens is when they walk into my house and I check them in, because for the most part, about 90% of the times I'm home when a guest walks in, I ask them one more time, are you a smoker? Because I want to tell them, if you are a smoker, please smoke outside, and what to do with the cigarette butt, because I don't even like the cigarette butt to come inside the house because it stinks up the garbage and stinks up the place. So communicate with your guests if they're breaking rules, or if they're not treating your home the way you want them to treat it. So, but one of the biggest things is you have to have clear house rules. If you do not want your guests in your space the entire day, in your description and in your house will say, look, I work from home, I want someone discovering the city, or I'm a smoke-free home. Or if you don't want them using the kitchen, do not show photos of the kitchen, do not offer the kitchen. But if you say, oh, only for light cooking, define what is light cooking, because light cooking for you might be a big meal for somebody else. So what you have to do is say, you could microwave, you can make tea and toast or something like that. Okay, so be very clear on your house rules. Your house rules will define your home. And people, I also have them inside my guidebook, my house rules, on top of my Airbnb site. So that's a way if you're dealing with someone that's already home. Now, what happens if they left and you have to review them, which is one of the hardest things when we have to review a non-pleasant guest, or excuse me, a difficult guest, as I like to call them. It's those guests that you love to see go and not come back. Wait 24 hours. Do not do this response immediately after they left, because you're still a little hot-headed. I know that I've responded and have reviewed people as they're walking out the door, and they have not been my finest moments. So wait 24 hours. Get a second opinion. Send it to a friend. Let them listen, especially if you have friends that are hosts, so they understand. Tell them the situation, and maybe they might soften the language a little bit. And also state facts. We get emotional because it is our home. It is our space. We bend over backwards to create a fantastic environment for our guests. And when they break our rules, we take it personal. I mean, and in a way it is. But the reality is that for them, leaving a door unlocked is not personal to you. It's just probably they're forgetful, and that's not what they do at home. So what you do is just tell them, hey, you forgot, so state the facts. Did they break some rules? State that fact. And if you want to state what rule they broke, you could also do that. So what you could do is always say, hey, look, this is the rules that they broke, and sort of like, be factual instead of an emotional side. Okay, I don't know why I'm not seeing any more comments. Can you type something? Do you guys have any questions, dear host? My last comment that I see is from Vivian saying, I can hear you just fine. And but I don't see it. Oh, all is good. Okay, thank you, Christy. Right, do you guys have any questions about this? Oh my God, you're listening. Thank you so much, Anna. So now, what happens? How do you go about welcoming the right guest? Welcoming the right guest is, how do you go about feeling calm when your next guest walks in? One of the things is having clear house rules, having clear communication. And if you want, you can always come over and pick my brain. I will talk to you about Airbnb until I'm blue in the face. Believe me, this is one of the reasons why I started the consultation, because I already was talking about Airbnb so much to everybody, even whether it's a taxi driver or someone on the street. And so if you want to talk about maximizing your price, I was just talking to a client in Hawaii, and we talked about how to change her pricing, where she could make a little bit more money and still get more bookings because her base rate is lower, but she added some other stuff. Photos and captions. Are you using the best photos and captions for your listing? Are they showing the best place? Are they true to your space? Are you saying ocean views, but you don't see the ocean from any of your photos? So, these are huge. Also, how to maximize your captions. Are the captions adding a feature of your home? For example, if the size of your bed, you could say it on that, okay? Also, we'll talk about headlines and names. I will go through reviews, pick out some information for you, and make sure that you have the best headlines and name. One of the things that I say is do not use Wi-Fi on your headline, on your the name of your home. Do not use, I come with Wi-Fi, because that should not be there. That could be on the description, but it should not have top real estate on your headline, about me, or the first paragraph or your description, okay? And also, we will talk about house rules. What are the good house rules for you? What can you do? What is clear? Are you writing a novel, or do you not have house rules? Because if you don't have house rules, your guests could do whatever they want to do. They could smoke in your place. They could bring visitors. They could bring people overnight. So those are things that we make sure that we're very clear about, and we'll discuss a lot more than just this. One of the things that I'm offering right now in my consultation is the guidebook template. I created this. It is one of the items that my guests talk about in about 90% of my reviews. They mention my guidebook, and they mention the curated information. It is really important. And so the guidebook is a template I will give it to you for you to fill out your information and for you to use. And I'll personalize it a little bit depending upon your hometown. All right. So I'm offering an early bird of and that was, oh my God, it ends tomorrow. I never changed the slide. I would change it on but I have a little early bird discount for the next 24 hours or so, because I leave to Paris this weekend for the Airbnb conference. Is anybody going to the conference? Yeah, guidebooks are huge. A guidebook it stops questions on their tracks. It's also a great way to keep your guests independent from you. I even have like little Google Maps about from the neighborhood from where what's the distance from my house to the restaurants or to the groceries and things like that. Just adds a lot of value to the guidebook. Oh, I'm sorry, Chris. What do you mean you didn't get a place to stay? You're gonna stay at an Airbnb, of course. I'm sorry you guys are not going. I'm actually going to do the November webinar. It's going to be my presentation that I'm doing in Paris, which is really, really good. Yes, but I don't do instant booking on one of my listings. I do it on on the other one, but I don't do it in the one that I live with my guests because I want to have a better communication with them. I have not had a problem with the guests that book on Instant Book on my other place, but I've only had like about 3 of them. It is a little disturbing when you say, "Oh, you have a booking," and you're like, "What? Wait, I haven't talked to this person yet," and then you communicate with them, and everything is fine. On the Instant Book, I have it that they have to be reviewed, and I haven't seen this yet, but I've heard that Airbnb is providing the host up to 3 cancellations of instant booking without penalties. Do not quote me on it, and don't say, "Oh, Evelyn told me this," because they roll out these programs in different parts of the world. I have not seen it. Um, no, it's not $85 for the guidebook template. It's $85 for an hour consultation with me, and you get the guidebook template as well. So the $85, you talk to me, we either Skype or we talk on the phone, and we'll talk all about your listing, about your house, about what is going on. And then one of the things that I give you is also the guidebook template as part of our conversation. It's not, no, it's not. My template is not $85. But believe me, I'm creating a really great product there, and I'm just going to offer it without the consultation as well in the very near future. So now, do your hosts have any questions about how to deal with Airbnb and not a little difficult guest or anything like that? Fiona, I'm sorry you cannot attend it. Is it a reasonable trade-off? Jack, what do you mean? I wasn't about preventing any words, but does Instant Book bring you up? It does bring you up higher in searches, Jack. And some people will put it up and then will take it off and things like that. I don't know if it's a reasonable trade-off. I do, especially because I live with some of my guests. I like to know who's coming to my home. But I do know that if you have Instant Book, your space goes up on the list, on the search algorithm, which is unfortunate. It becomes this like, the safety, especially as a women host, and then there's like, okay, am I being penalized if I don't have an Instant Book on listing? All right. Anybody wants me to do, Carmen, how many is too many? Well, what happens is if you, some people feel that if a guest, like let's say they've been hosting for a while and they've had 50 guests coming through their house, and this one guest does something that they feel like, oh, I need to add that to the house rules because somebody already did this and this was not good. Like, for example, they might use a strong cologne. What I do is I make sure that I don't penalize future guests for bad behavior of past guests. So my rules are less than 10, and they're very clear, and they're very like, no pets, no overnight guests, unless clear by me, because I do allow overnight guests if they're having a family member come by, because I get a lot of people that are coming to visit their family. So I do say, look, if you're visiting your grandchild and your grandchild wants to stay over, please do. It's okay. How can you not accept single males? Well, you could just, I would not put that on your description, but you could just say, I'm sorry, but whenever somebody, a man comes in, you could just say, look, I'm not accepting men at this minute or anything like that. I have accepted men without any problems, Trudy, just to let you know. But, I'm a little bit of a rebel. I started Airbnb in 2010 when nobody knew anything about it. So, Carmen, I hope that answers your question. Why do I use IB for one listing? Well, the listing that I use Instant Booking for is the private apartment. Even though it's in my home, it is separate apartment, and I don't share with the guests. So I feel that it's okay to be on Instant Booking with that one. I do review bad guests. Remember that you have 14 days of them if they don't review you before they see your bad review. So it's not like your review will be up first and then they'll give you a bad review about it, but they can comment on your review, the same way that you can comment on theirs. The reason why I review my guests, even including the bad guests, and I've done it plenty of times, is because we have to. This is a community. Will you not want to know about that bad behavior from that guest from another host? If the previous host had been like, oh, yes, I hosted this person, or they were a good guest, and they were not. If they had bad communication, if they were not the best guests, what would you want to know? I think it is our responsibility as hosts and to the community to review everybody that comes through our homes, whether they're good or bad. And if there's too indifferent, you could just say, will you accept that guest again? Will you want them in your house again? And imagine if they don't have a review. If you decline an inquiry, no, it depends on how many declines you do. I know Airbnb is sending out emails to people that are constantly declining people and not accepting any reservations. And what they do is they will unlist your listing. So they will close it. It will not be deleted, and you completely just turn it back on. But they want to have people that are active and that they're accepting inquiries. So it doesn't really hurt you in the search if you decline 1 or 2. But declining 10 or 20, it will not only hurt you, but Airbnb will turn off your listing, not delete it, but turn it off. Well, Anna, the problem with instant booking, as I was stating before, I have seen in some people's emails today, and they've sent it to me. I have a friend in New York who got that email saying you could cancel up to 3 guests without penalties. I didn't receive that email. So I don't know what's the truth. I don't know if it will work with you or not. So if you have an instant book and you feel like I don't really want this guest, I'm going to send you, I would say contact Airbnb and make sure that you can. All you have to do to turn your listing back on is basically just a slide. It's a button on the Airbnb site. There's not much more than that. It's really not a pain. Oh, I know it's so hard to talk to, believe me. They make it really impossible. But have you noticed that now your reservations has a phone number on the bottom? I don't know if you noticed this, but Airbnb's reservation, at least my reservations now have a phone number all the way on the bottom of email. No, they will not turn off your listing if you don't accept single males. I mean, truly, the question is, how many people are you turning away and things like that. So if you get in a lot of single males, I mean, and you could probably put on your description, my preference are couples or females, since I am a female host. You could, word it where it's not insulting or anything like that, but that your preference, it is your home, and you need to be comfortable in your home, and you need to feel safe in your home. Any other questions? Single males are fine. Well, I haven't had problem, and what's funny, Fiona, is the single female. She's the one that brought an overnight guest that she met at a bar that one time, and I was livid, to say the least. I was not a happy person, and I actually made the guest cry. She was a young lady, and I had told her, because I knew it was coming. I could sense it, that it was coming. I had told her, do not bring anybody that you meet on the street. If you meet somebody, please just go to their place. Do not bring them to the house. And she did on her last night. And I was really not a happy girl. And my statement to her, because she was young, was like, I'm disappointed, which made her really upset. And that was actually at a time, and I contacted Airbnb because I had to review her, and I didn't want it to come from an emotional side. And at that time, Airbnb was very small, and they were able to, they were my second opinion of that review, because they were like, just say, don't say that she came home drunk with a stranger. Just say she broke house rules. So, yeah, and Christy, look, if you have no children or animals in your home, you could definitely decline people. I have a no pets allowed. And when someone has mentioned like, oh, can I bring my dog or something like that? I'm like, no, I'm sorry, you can. Okay. And yeah, so the question is, Christy, do me a favor. Let's start doing the listing review with yours. Give me your Airbnb listing, and if you don't mind, we could go through it for a second. Yes, communication problems when a company books for an employee is really, really hard, Suzanne. And you're absolutely correct. And not only that, but Airbnb frowns upon third-party bookings. I'm not sure what they're doing about, because they are pushing for business travelers. So I'm not sure how much are they going to really enforce this no third-party booking. So Alejandra, you're beating Christy. All right, that means that you are okay with me showing your home. I just want to make sure of that, and then I'm going to make comments, and I'm not a gentle soul. So I'm going to share your listing with the folks at home. Hello. Yay, look. I'm in green. It's cold in New York. No, actually, no, it's pretty nice. So let me share Alejandra's in Mexico. All right. And we have her permission, and this is her listing. All right. So I'm going to start with your, let's start with your first photo. It is a beautiful kitchen. It is an entire home, but you see, from your title, luxury master suite, air conditioned, I'm not feeling like this is an entire apartment. Because when you say master suite, I think about as you're offering just the bedroom. All right. And you're mentioning about this listing twice, air conditioning, English spoken. I speak English will be better. All right, so let's see if you have a better picture. So is it a studio apartment? In front of TV, cama tamaño king, para muy cómoda. Sofa bed, okay. This is a pretty place. You might need a little bit of better photos. Like, let's say, for example, this photo, the view goes up to the ceiling, and they're a little bit dark over here. So you might want something a little brighter. So bathroom with walk-in shower. Does he have? Yeah, he has a kitchen safety bar. I like the safety bar. That's really nice. You have a lot of pictures. Oh my God. Oh, okay. That's what that. So is it a very secure place? All right. This is. I will call your place as. Do you have parking? Oh, that's excellent. All right. All right. So what I will have as my first photo, it will be probably do another photo of your bedroom where it's frontal, a little bit more frontal. I also don't see the TV that you're talking about here. I'm a little confused of, oh, okay, so the sofa bed is on the other side of the wall and the TV is by the bedroom. All right. So I will call this a studio apartment and not a master suite, because it becomes confusion. I mean, at least for me, I don't know how other hosts feel. If they feel like luxury master suite makes you think that you would just get in the bedroom. Air conditioning, I don't know. Is it that people have complained about it? Is this something that they talk about? So yeah, in this case, this is called a studio apartment in the States. So you could just say studio apartment, private. All right, so let's see, look at your house rules, and if you could just put like a little bit of a asterisk next to, I will not put responsible teenagers. This is asking for trouble. I there's no such thing as responsible teenagers. Oh, so you're the only one that offers air conditioning. Okay. Well, yeah, but I will put it in about this listing and not just on your headline. I would put like air conditioned studio apartment in Guadalajara, clean and safe. And let me see your reviews. So we enjoy very recommended apartments. It was ideal for us. Comfortable for 2 people, well-equipped kitchen, comfortable bed. All right, so equipped kitchen, this is a great thing. Location was close, and this is a great thing for you to say. About this listing, fue excelente, muy buena ubicada, accesible para llegar con todo muy cerca, la cocina muy bonita y completa, la cama y almohadas super cómodas. Okay, so what you notice, they're not talking about your air conditioning. They're talking about other things. Okay, you have a cancellation here. Okay, I'm glad. tried recommending another place. You can rest assured knowing that it was a rare anomaly made necessary effort to try to compensate. Okay, that's a good comeback, Alejandra. So what I normally like to do is I pulled information from your reviews and make that your part of your description. It's unfortunate you don't have that many reviews. Oh, you have 6. All right. I mean, but you have a 5 stars. Um, and also the way you will communicate a little bit better in reference of your description. Sometimes bullet points are easier to read. And if you're talking like, let's say kitchen, just make a headline kitchen and then what you're going to talk about that there. But yeah, I don't know if I would put luxury. I mean, I would put, studio apartment, comfortable, modern, or modern studio apartment, something like that. All right, Christy, let's talk to Christy now since we're done with Alejandra. Okay. So, Caño Casita. Oh, Christy, have I not seen your space before? It feels familiar. I feel like I've seen your space. Anna, okay. So let me just share this. This is one of the things I love to do is actually looking at you guys' listings. It's sort of like, this is a beautiful photo. It's really pretty, it's really bright. Cañon Vista Casita private entry. So is this a private home? I mean, this is beautiful, Chrissy. This is, so you have a private bathroom. Enjoy the backyard. Nice photos. Okay, this is good. So what it doesn't have is a kitchen. Am I correct? You forgot something. That's a nice touch. Cozy up. Steps. Okay, good that you see it's a good use of the list of the captions because you're saying 6 steps, no handrail. So this is a good thing. It's things to communicate with your guests on your captions that they could see. I will put the captions lower cases because always caps, remember that they sound like you're screaming. You have a lot of photos of the outside world. You have 22 photos. All right. So welcome to your own private. Your suite has its own entrance to your spacious room and suite bed. You can come and go as you please. There is no shared interior space. We respect your privacy. What about kitchen? It doesn't have a mini kitchen area with small refrigerator. Why is it that I didn't see that? Let me go back. Did I miss the kitchen? All right. I don't see photos of the mini kitchen. All right. You need to show that, darling. And where is it in reference of the apartment? Because I don't know where you will have it. So Christy, do you have, and I'm doing just one more, guys, and that's it, because if not, I'll be here forever. So Christy, do you have, where is the private kitchen? So I've done yours before. Oh, come on, that's cheating. All right. All right, so I'm gonna say add the photo of your kitchen because it's not there. Special room and suite, you can come as you go. Yeah, so I will say do that. Okay. All right, so let's do the next person since I've done Christian before in the past. All right, so we have Susana. So I'm not skipping. I'm trying to go in order. And I'll do one more. Oh, Italiano. Okay, Milano. So apartment in Milan. All right. So let me see. Is this a private room? Oh, it's an entire apartment for 58 euros. That's amazing. This is a beautiful photo of your home. Really modern. You could put here also the size of the bed because it looks like an oversized. So is it a king? Is it 2 twins? Can they be split up? You could put that. This is very pretty. I love the welcoming wall. Large diner table. It's dining table, large TV, and a chest of drawers. So The kitchen is equipped with all you need. Very pretty, very clean. Thank you for having the toilet lid closed, my friends. Toilet lid closed, always. This looks very nice. Okay, showing that you show everything. I don't think you need this many photos of the kitchen, but it's okay. And you have, this is a dark photo and it doesn't really add much to the, oh, because the night approaches is so romantic. You have a few, so you see like the photo number 15, I will push it up forward and like that you have, if you have some photos of the neighborhood, of what's around, what's nearby. The neighborhood is very quiet, no traffic, no squalls. Are there any restaurants or things like that you recommend? I don't really speak Italian. So so you are saying the bed is king size bed? So I will put that on the caption. Great bathroom with shower, 2 people, very quiet, very centric, Wi-Fi and air conditioning. So I mean, it's not a bad. Okay, so you are offering, and it has a moderate cancellation. You have some good reviews. The time to go directly to the dome in 15 minutes. So this is great, you know. And I will say, if you want to, like Alejandra did with some of her reviews, she transcribed them to English. Find out who is your primary customer, your primary client, who comes into your home. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't share the screen. Oh, that's so horrible of me. Here it is. Let me just share one more time. I'm so sorry, guys. I thought I had, you see? So I'm looking at it and you're not seeing it. All right, so this is the beautiful photo, the first photo that I was talking about. Oh my God, in the house rules to not do so, but no one seems to read them. Yeah, well, so look, what you could say is, please don't dye your hair when people come in. I'm sorry. So this is her primary. I mean, isn't this a beautiful photo? It's really pretty, well done. So this is the welcome pay wall. Another beautiful photo of the studio apartment, the kitchen, really nicely done, very clean. I love the bright blue. The blue floor is amazing. Everything looks clean. Here is the closed toilet seat, the kitchen. I could eliminate, I would say you could eliminate 1 or 2 photos. This, I like this one of the couch. This is a little too dark, and I understand you're trying to say that it's romantic, but this is also, I like it that you're showing the closet, so it's giving me some new information. So I'm going to say you could eliminate a couple of photos, and I would put the about this listing, I would put it also in English, just in case for your guests, since you have a couple of people that seems to speak English on your reviews. Okay. All right. Next, I know, right? Isn't that a beautiful blue color? Let me see what people are saying here. That is a great welcome wall graphics. I've seen things like this. I've also seen people have done maps and they put pins of where their guests have come. I know, right? I think it has like a beautiful blue wall and some slacks. I don't know if it's slacks or paint on that blue, and it's really pretty, beautiful. Okay. I'm sorry. I know people do the strangest. Oh, you didn't list the kitchen. Oh, I understand. But you have it on your description, so I'm gonna say, Christy, if you have it in your description, you're listing it. So I would say if you want to make it up as part of your description. All right. So because I had done Christy before and she snuck in, let's do another person. So let's do David. And I'm going to make sure that I do this right. Okay. Pull it out. Let's share the screen. There's so many steps to do. Okay. All right. So this is not bad. It's an okay. It's a central one bedroom apartment. Walk everywhere. Okay, so let's find out. In Canada, David. All right. So I don't know why. I wish there was a little bit more light on this apartment. This looks a very small bed, and I don't think it is. I think it's the angle of the photo. So you might want to, you see, this looks a little bit bigger. So I'm going to say if you could either take the photo of this from the bottom of the bed or something, because it looks like a twin size bed, and I don't think it is. You're not using captions. So you see what it does is that it keeps the name of your listing as your caption. So you're not utilizing that, and that's really good real estate. Thank you for closing your bathroom lid. And it's nice and clean. The kitchen is nice and clean. I hope you provide some stuff. So it's like a studio apartment. Okay. It looks a little bit minimalistic. I will hope you have some books or some things for people to read and things like that, because it looks very sparse. Some probably a little bit of trash cans of some art or things like that on the cabinet underneath the TV. Just some for people to do and things like that. So it's, I mean, I like you see that the photo above the sofa is a really nice photo. And you have a photo by the kitchen table. So does you sleep? Wait, how do you have 3 beds? How do you sleep? Wait. How do you sleep 6 people? David, are you around? Let me just see you. It is a queen size bed. It does not look like a queen size bed. So you need to say that it's a queen size bed. David, how do you sleep 6 people when it's a 1 bedroom apartment? So you have a 1 bed. This is confusing. And where do the rest of the people sleep on? Is it a sofa bed? Because I'm not saying that it says it's a sofa bed. And where do the other 2 people sleep? Beautiful new central apartment. The apartment fits 6. How? Okay, I have no idea how you sleep 6 people here. To share to us the neighborhood. Okay, so the kitchen, living room. Okay, look, you have this mattress information, you should have it on your caption. With its own closet and plenty of space to put the couch in the living room, also open up to a double mattress and a queen air mattress. Okay, that is going to be a crowded apartment. You're not charging extra. Do you get that many groups? I understand. Okay, so the sofa becomes yeah, I got that, the sofa bed and things like that, but you're not charging extra per person. I would say if you want to offer that up, charge a little bit extra. You know, after 4 guests, just because it's pulling in an air mattress and all this other stuff. I charge per person, and I charge after 1 person. That's just me, and my statement is always I don't want to penalize the single guests, because I do get single guests, but I also get couples, and then they just get to pay a little bit more. Not that much. You could do after 2 guests, you could charge a little bit extra. Now, what is it that you have 4.5 stars? So in cleanliness, you have 4.5 stars, location and value. Much appreciated, amazing time, affordable. Host was welcoming, easy to reach. Okay, close to grocery store. It'd be great if you show a couple of photos of Edmond. The same as there's some noises from the street as it pass by the apartment, but not bother. Great location. So your location seems to be a great thing, and you're not mentioning it here. Look, your headline could be a little bit better, because it's not telling me a lot of information. Centrally located, 1 bedroom apartment, or and I know you're saying central here, convenient. It could be 1, and just have a little bit of that on your about this listing. A beautiful kitchen on the street. Yeah, I think you could beef up a little bit about this listing, but it's not bad, and you could charge probably a little bit extra. So what do you mean that it's an older apartment? I'm not understanding what that. My house is 120 years old. I don't think your apartment is older than mine. Um, and what it means is that it has character. Haha. Your apartment looks fine. I don't understand why you mean that it's an older apartment. What it needs is a little bit of more, just a couple of things, some books, some so that it looks livelier and it doesn't look as empty. Do you have any night tables by the side? You see, like you might want a night table next to the bed, with a lamp for people to put their stuff and their phone chargers and to read. Okay, so I mean, it doesn't matter that your building is 40 years old. That's not that bad. Does it have an elevator? What floor are you on? That's the kind of information that people will want to know. Um, and I don't think it matters that it's 40 years old, because people don't say, okay, so if you have night tables now, you need to put them on the photos, okay? All right, David, that is it for right now. That was David from Canada. Hopefully you will get your listing up to par with the cleanliness and get 5 stars on cleanliness. So thank you guys so much. Please remember that you're more than welcome to hire me and talk. We could talk about Airbnb, and I will always go back and look at your listing and give you some comments. Even in the future, I still do that with past clients. I'll go back and see and give them a heads up. And if I learn something new, I'm like, hey, you should do this, or this is something that I'm doing now, just because it's important. We are here to learn. And I'm doing this webinar again tonight just because of last week's, and I'm going to probably start doing webinars twice a night for the night shift for the people on the other side of the world. Thank you again for being with me, and one more time coming to being part of spending a little bit of time. So, and sorry again for any of the technical issues. We get them here, okay? So thank you. Have a great time. And I might be periscoping from Paris. It's something new that I'm going to try and do some videos. I'm going to send you up a little schedule of what I'm doing. I'm presenting in Paris this amazing talk about reviews and how do we pull information from reviews. As you see that I was looking at your reviews to try to get some information. So thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for sticking around, and I will see you again in November for the next webinar. All right, have a good one.